Let's talk about your weather impact. We've got a lot coming our way. We've got rain today. Tomorrow, it's not so much the rain, it's more the wind and the temperature drop that's on the way. And that's going to kick off lake effect snow here in Northeast Ohio as we get on into your Thanksgiving. Should be a white one, especially out east. 48 degrees. It's a mild start at Hopkins right now. We've got some rain falling in the CLE. Average high this time year 47. We're already above that. This is bonus territory. Very mild day today as temps continue to come up on that south wind. Wind's not going to get out of control today. It'll be breezy at times, but the real wind arrives tomorrow. It's all about the rain today. This rain we've been watching throughout the morning hours, spreading from south to north. We've got general light rain and moderate at times. We've had a few embedded heavier downpours, but it shouldn't come down too heavy. It'll just be persistent throughout the day as rain stretches from here back down towards Dayton, Cincinnati. You get across the border, Covington picking up rain down towards Bowling Green and Elizabethtown, Kentucky. All this rain is going to continue through about early to mid-afternoon. Then we should cut it off and become a little bit more scattered. Two fronts that we're watching. Front number one we deal with today, bringing the rain. All right, it's like they're bringing side dishes for Thanksgiving. This one brings the rain. This one brings the cold and the wind tomorrow. It's going to hit us. Morning is when it passes. Then by afternoon, boy, those temps are going to be coming down, and that cold air across our relatively warm lakes. You know what that does, lake effect snow. We've got winter storm watches out. Primary snow belt, I-90 from Ashtabula, Lake County out towards Erie is going to be a mess Thursday into Friday. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Rain clearing and giving way to just scattered showers this evening. Temps continue to climb. We'll be in the mid-50s by midnight. How about that? We'll start mild tomorrow. Here's the front tomorrow morning. It passes by. We'll likely have a lull where the sun comes out. It's not too bad outside. What bad day, Matt? Well, then the clouds get here and that temp crashes into the 30s by evening. We'll likely have some area-wide flurries or snow showers, but that wind is really going to be picking up, and that will kick up some lake effect snow. The bands will likely target Buffalo and Erie initially and then come southward tomorrow night into Thanksgiving morning. This will pile up in a hurry, especially some of these more organized bands on Thanksgiving morning. That snow looks persistent out in the snow belt, maybe a secondary band into the primary and secondary snow belts here. Northern Summit, northern Portage County could get into the action. Everything expected to shift a little further south. But Thanksgiving evening on into Friday, we could have some really tricky travel around here. Preliminary look, remember, this isn't truth, it's just a model run. 48 inches plus perhaps, especially out where those bands persist. We could have some messy travel again. So keep in mind, I-90 is going to be the messiest of interstates. After this system heads out, we have a brief break on Friday, and then another system comes in. This is going to bring maybe 6 to 12 inches of snow for Chicago Saturday. We could get some accumulating snow off of that before that heads out as we go into Sunday. Union Home Mortgage 10-day forecast, nice and cold after this. Brissa overall messy through Sunday, then next week cold with a few hits of snow Tuesday and Thursday.
All right, so two systems in the next 24 hours. First one brings us rain showers today. Tomorrow brings the wind and the cold. Could have wind gusts 45 miles an hour tomorrow. That is going to be quite the breathtaking air that comes in with temperatures dropping all the way down into the 30s. There's your snowflakes for Thanksgiving. But it's the weekend system I think has more potential if you want some accumulation on the ground. Let me jump into our latest data on that Saturday and Sunday system with our hour-by-hour forecast. Shows a mix of snow and rain showers moving across the Midwest and into the Great Lakes. This will be one we certainly will be watching. This will be Saturday night into Sunday morning for the timing on that one, but certainly has our eyeballs peeled there after Thanksgiving. And beyond that, still stays pretty chilly. Look at all those highs in the 30s headed towards the beginning of December. That's the latest on our 10-day forecast.
Y'all know I don't keep up with sports, but this is a game I'm going to watch. This is the one I'm going to keep up with this weekend.
Yes, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
People will be watching.
Very interesting on also how the weather's going to play out here this weekend because we got a system coming in. We talked about it yesterday that could bring some wintry weather here, especially up north. So going to have to watch that.
We can play in the snow.
Yeah, snow's fine.
Ann Arbor's going to be cold, that's for sure. Yeah.
Rub a little snow on it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but hey, you know, it's November. It's bound to happen at some point.
Sure.
We'll get some more snow. We'll get the colder air. Starting tomorrow, actually, is when we're going to get the colder air. So after today, we have that weather impact alert here for today because we're tracking rain, and that could have some impacts on your commute here as we go through the morning into the early afternoon. So just keep that in mind. We're tracking light to, at times, moderate rain that could lead to some ponding on the roads, and just avoid hydroplaning here as we are tracking that potential for moderate rainfall. Amounts are going to be close to a quarter to a half an inch here for today. A few places could get a little bit more, but there are going to be some breaks in the rain as we get later into our Tuesday. For right now, here's a look at the radar picture showing the rain not too far away, getting closer to London right now. We're seeing the rain showers starting to pick up in Circleville, Washington Courthouse, seeing the rain back to Cincinnati and Dayton. Zooming things out here, you can see we had a little bit of a shower activity earlier on. That has since moved off to the east, now over towards the Cambridge area, just south of Cleveland now. But here is the rain, and look at that a large shield of rain that's going to build in here as we go through the next several hours. And zooming things out, well, you can see there is still a lot more rain that has to make its way all the way from southern Illinois to go through central Ohio. So we have a lot more rain coming in, and we are tracking two different systems. One that's going to bring us the rain. This one's going to stay well to our north, and that's actually producing snow out across the Dakotas into Minnesota here today. But that system behind it, as it tracks to the north, it's going to bring in all that colder air that we will see here starting tomorrow. And just wait till you see the forecast. But for today, let's talk about the rain here. Going through the hour-by-hour forecast here by 7 a.m., looking at some light to, at times, moderate rainfall coming through, and that will continue through the morning hours, and even by noon, still tracking some rain. But by about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it does start to taper off. A few more scattered showers are still possible, but the bulk of the rain, it's going to be done here by 3 p.m. So travel conditions are better this evening and better for tomorrow. The downside for tomorrow, it's going to be quite windy, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Rainfall amounts again around a half an inch, a pretty safe bet for most areas here for today. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast though. 57 for a high. It's going to be mild today. And then for tomorrow, we are at 52 degrees. That is in the morning, because look at this. As we go through the day, we are going to see falling temperatures. We are going to be into the 30s by the evening, and we are talking about winds gusting over 20, over 30 miles per hour, potentially even up to 40 miles per hour at times as we go through the afternoon here on your Wednesdays. So that's just going to usher in very cold temperatures as we are down into the 30s for Thursday and Friday. And then watch that system here for the weekend that could bring us a chance for rain or snow.
Here's the thing, if you do have to get on the roads, you may want to check out this tip and make sure your hand positioning on the wheel is correct. According to Mary Kay Speckhart with Professional Driving School in Parma, if you think it's still 10 and 2, think again.
One of the things you got to remember is you want to keep your hands at 8 and 4 and 9 and 3, no 10 and 2. You put your hands at 10 and 2 and you go across, that's that airbag throwing it into your face. You're not flash, you're not fast enough to move your hand out of the way before it happens.
Another tip from Speckhart, if you have to brake, remember to rely on your automatic brake system to get your tires some traction on slick roads.